Welcome to the Weekly Dose, a Pharmacy Times broadcast bringing you the latest clinical updates, regulatory decisions, and expert insights shaping the pharmacy profession. I'm Danielle Valetti, and today I'm joined by Kennedy Ferrugia.
Each week, we break down the top stories impacting pharmacists across specialties, from clinical practice and emerging therapies to regulatory updates and patient care. Let's begin with this week's top stories.
This week, we're following a major update to the nationwide Cyclosporiasis Outbreak. Case counts have now risen to more than 5,000 across at least 31 states, with dozens of hospitalizations reported. Michigan remains the epicenter, with more than 3,300 cases reported as of July 9th. For the first time, investigators have identified lettuce and salad greens as the leading suspected source, although no specific grower, supplier, or product has been confirmed.
Federal and state officials are also investigating whether Taco Bell restaurants may have played a role in the outbreak, but no restaurant chains or food products have been formally linked to the cases. Michigan health officials are recommending that consumers choose whole heads of lettuce rather than pre-washed bagged greens or salad kits and remove the outer 2 or 3 leaves before use.
Marilyn Bulloch, PharmD, told Pharmacy Times that the delay in identifying a source is concerning, particularly because symptoms may not appear until 1 to 2 weeks after exposure. She also emphasized that patients should begin treatment promptly. Bactrim remains the standard therapy, while hydration and electrolyte replacement are also important.
For pharmacists, the key message is to encourage patients with persistent symptoms to seek medical care and request specific cyclosporiasis testing. Routine stool cultures do not detect the parasite, which means cases may otherwise go undiagnosed. Pharmacists can also reinforce careful hand washing and food safety precautions while investigators continue searching for the source.
Another story raising important questions involves the growing role of artificial intelligence in prescription refills. A new pilot program in Utah allows an AI-powered chatbot to authorize refills for certain chronic medications after reviewing patient responses and pharmacy records. The system can either approve a refill or refer the patient to a physician if it identifies a potential concern.
Supporters say the program can improve medication access, reduce administrative burden, and allow clinicians to spend more time on complex patient care. However, healthcare professionals have warned that refill is not always a routine administrative task.
In an interview with Pharmacy Times, Dr. Nilesh Desai said AI has significant potential to improve refill management, which should serve as a clinical decision support rather than an autonomous replacement for professional judgment. He emphasized that refill authorization is an important clinical checkpoint to ensure therapy remains safe, appropriate, and effective.
For pharmacists, AI could help identify protocol exceptions, monitoring gaps, drug interactions, and other medicated-related risks. But the final decision to continue, modify, or discontinue therapy should remain under the oversight of qualified healthcare professionals.
For our KOL feature this week, we're staying with the growing conversation around psychedelic medicine. Pharmacy Times spoke with Neil Markey, CEO of Beckley Retreats, about what the recent executive order expanding research into psychedelic therapies could mean for veterans, and why pharmacists should understand what has and hasn't changed.
Markey explained that while the executive order signals strong federal support for investigating therapies like ibogaine, it does not change what is legally available today. He said the order changes the federal government's posture more than current access, since ibogaine remains a Schedule I substance. The order also encourages collaboration between the FDA, the Department of Veterans Affairs, and the Department of Health and Human Services, while providing additional funding for research.
One topic receiving attention is the right to try pathway. Markey explained that many people have asked whether veterans could access ibogaine through this program. However, he noted that the answer is no, at least not yet. Under federal law, a drug must first complete Phase 1 safety testing before it can qualify for right to try, and ibogaine has not met that requirement in the United States.
He also emphasized that the process will take time. In addition to the regulatory requirements, ibogaine has been associated with serious cardiac risks, including reported deaths, making a safety evaluation a critical step before any broader access could occur. For pharmacists, Markey says it's important to help patients understand that these therapies are still investigational and that any expected timelines should be measured in years, not months.
Markey added that psilocybin is further along in the development process and could see regulatory movement sooner than ibogaine. He also cautioned that different psychedelic compounds carry very different safety profiles and drug interaction risks, making patient education essential.
Looking ahead, Markey said Beckley Retreats is partnering with Harvard's T.H. Chan School of Public Health to collect real-world safety and outcome data through observational research. He said the field holds tremendous potential, but its success will depend on careful research, thoughtful regulation, and safe, equitable implementation as these therapies continue to develop. We're rounding out this week with several important FDA approvals that could impact neurology, oncology, and precision medicine.
First, the FDA approved a new at-home starting dosing regimen for lecanemab or Leqembi, allowing patients with early Alzheimer's disease to begin treatment at home with self-administration or with the help of a caregiver. Leqembi targets beta amyloid plaques in the brain and has been shown to slow cognitive and functional decline, though it does not reverse memory loss or cure the disease. The new approval gives eligible patients a more convenient option while maintaining the same safety monitoring, including MRI surveillance, for amyloid-related imaging abnormalities, or ARIA.
Next, the FDA granted traditional approval to selpercatinib, marketed as Retovma, for adults and children 2 years and older with previously treated RET fusion-positive solid tumors. This converts the drug's earlier accelerated approval into full approval and further expands the role of precision medicine. Because this is a tissue-agnostic approval, eligibility is based on the presence of RET gene fusion rather than where the cancer originated, reinforcing the importance of comprehensive molecular testing.
The FDA also approved gedatolisib, brand name Revtorpic, in combination with fulvestrant or with or without palbociclib for patients with HR-positive, HER2-negative metastatic breast cancer without a PIK3CA mutation. The approval is based on the Phase 3 Victoria-1 trial, which showed the combination significantly improved progression-free survival compared with fulvestrant alone. For oncology pharmacists, the approval introduces a new targeted option for a patient population that has historically and fewer effective treatment choices after CDK4/6 inhibitor therapy.
This week's stories highlight the rapidly evolving landscape of pharmacy, from public health outbreaks and emerging technology to novel therapies and breakthrough FDA approvals.
From the latest developments in the nationwide cyclosporiasis outbreak and the growing role of AI in prescription refills, to psychedelic therapy research and new treatment options for Alzheimer's disease, cancer, and precision medicine, pharmacists continue to play a vital role in patient care, education, and clinical decision-making. You can read more about today's stories on pharmacytimes.com, and be sure to follow us on social media at @PharmacyTimes. For Pharmacy Times, I'm Danielle Valetti.
And I'm Kennedy Ferrugia. Thank you for watching the Weekly Dose. We'll see you next week.